Moving on to 342, again, this is if only, obviously, if you have minor children. I'm going to show you the minimum standard of what you need to include here as far as submitting this form as an attachment to your 180. So again, it's going to be attachment. Okay, remember these are attachments to the judgment, FL-180. And with our clients, you always have to attach a child support calculation. So when we mark this box, it says here, I believe this is the line, it says, okay, a printout of a computer calculation. They're talking about what's known as a child support calculation or a distal master calculation. It's required. You can't submit this without. A printout of the computer calculation and findings is attached and incorporated into this order for all required items not filled out. So what that says in English is if you do the child support calculation, which we have to supply the court because they need to know what the guideline child support amount will be, regardless of what you guys agree to. If you, by clicking this button and attaching the form, and all we do is attach the child support order right behind this form, you don't have to fill out any of this. All of this can remain blank. This is only when there's not a child support order attached. The next box is child support. So in the most simplistic way of doing this, you're just going to indicate who's paying who. The petitioner is going to be paying the other party. Beginning, you do have to put a date in here. So we can just put a date in here. What are we on? 23. Just making up a date here. Child's name, date of birth, monthly amount, payable to, and you would put obviously the other party here. And then how you want that to be paid. Half on the first, all on the first, whatever you guys decide. I'm going to be doing another video about how to set it up when you don't want there to be child support. I wanted to make this for a simple, yes, we're having child support and this is how we're doing it, because I didn't want this video to be too long uncovering this form. So look at our channel for another video on specifically when you want there to be no child support, despite there being an amount that the state says there should be on the calculation. Okay, page 2. I'll show you only what you need to complete here. The courts are making this required in most cases, not all the courts, but we are doing it now as a practice because they are using the word mandatory now on these, and the other ones were not. But on these forms here, if there are minor children and you're completing this form, we're just simply putting in 50% to either party. If one of you wants to do 100%, that's fine. But these two sections, 6B and 6C, we're seeing the courts wanting these to be done in most cases because of the use of the word mandatory. This non-guideline order, let me just discuss this for a minute. And this will be more about that other video I was referencing in regards to if you don't want there to be child support or you want there to be more or less than the calculated amount. That's what this non-guideline order means. But for purposes of this video, we're talking about a simple divorce case where there's an agreement to child support that matches the guideline amount. Healthcare expenses, what we're normally just marking is both boxes because if you guys want to switch at some point on the healthcare expenses or who's providing the coverage. If it's just one party and that's always going to be the case, you can just say whoever's doing that now. There's no right or wrong reason here. We're not ever completing B and C. This is not required. I'm going to move on to page 3 so we can get through this. Nothing that's ever required here. Other orders, if there's something that wasn't covered on page 1 and 2, you include here. But again, we've been doing this 10 years, thousands of cases, and we've never had to use this box.